Hello and good evening, everybody. My name is Adam. Today is the August training webinar. We have some great, exciting information to go over with everybody today. What I'll be talking about is compensation plan training, the 4 basic principles and the 4 most important parts to it. After which, I have a special guest speaker, Mr. Arun Keemer, who's going to share some new information with y'all as well. So there's going to be some great information. We're going to go in depth on some certain parts of the comp plan. So I'll go ahead and leave it up into any comp plan questions after this. Also, this is being recorded, so we can air this anytime you wish after the fact too, or you can share it with your downloads and things like that. So without further ado, 4 basic principles of our compensation plan is being a user, which is basically just your customers, an endorser, a promoter, or a facilitator. Now, what I want to talk about today in today's focus, number 1 is going to be retail profit. There's a lot of actual pieces to it, not just a basic 10% TU. There's actually some more parts to it that I want to explain in detail. After that, we'll go into the fast start bonus, and we'll go into the fast start bonus in detail as well. And then we have our team binary bonus and our team generation bonus. So these 4 topics today are going to be the focus points of our webinar. And before I begin, I just wanted to go over some terminology. So when I'm referring to BV or PV, BV stands for business volume. And what business volume is the volume in which your commissions are calculated with. Personal volume is the volume that counts towards your active status. So there's a difference between the two, and the system will actually show you BV versus PV. So just as long as you understand that business value is what's used to used for your commission earnings, and personal volume is what counts towards your active status. So active status is being defined as it's what makes a business associate eligible to receive commissions. Now, you have to be active in order to receive commissions. It's a compliance thing that we have to do, but you don't have to buy any product in order to be active. You're considered active when there's a minimum of 40 personal volume, which is a personal purchase. As long as you have 40 PV, which is your personal volume, a minimum of 40 PV, you're considered active. The second way of being active is if you enroll a new member. So you personally enroll a new BA with at least 100 business value or more. That means if you were to sign up a new member, as long as they have 100 BV or more, that also makes you active for that month. And the third way of being active is if you have a retail customer sale of at least 40 volume or more. So you can see right here, there's no maintenance, if you will, that requires you to purchase anything. You can actually be active completely for free as long as you're being active in the business. So unless you're personally enrolling new BAs or you have retail customer sales of at least 40 BV or more. So what a retail profit is 10% retail profit, which basically says it's as a business associate or BA, you may refer customers to purchase product at retail price from your replicated site and earn up to 10% retail profit. Alternatively, you may purchase the products at a wholesale price from your back office and retail it to your customers at a 10% markup. All customer purchases from your replicated site or back office purchases are attached to corresponding business volume or BV, which we discussed earlier, which counts as your first generation TGB. It's your first generation group business volume. And you'll receive a 10% commission on that. We're going to go into TGB and explain that in detail also a little bit later on. So the great thing about the replicated site is if you sell retail products, so if you're referring customers to your replicated site and they're purchasing as a customer, you automatically get a 10% retail profit from every customer that you refer to your site. And these are referring to people that do not sign up as a member. So if they're just buying as a customer, they're paying full retail price, you get that 10% as a retail profit. One of the great things about retail profit, which I'm not sure if many people know because I've been asked quite a few times on this, is retail purchases, even though it's a customer buying online, you as that replicated site owner, it's your replicated site, it's your retail customer, you also get 10% cash back. Okay, so for example, the black tip, the retail price is $255 and the member price is $230. So your retail profit would be $25.50. It's 10% of the retail price. So in this example, there's 4 customers that you have. All 4 of these customers purchase a black tip wand from you, and they all pay the retail price, which is $255, and then all that profit goes to you, which is your retail profit. That'll give you $102 as your RP, or retail profit. You also receive cash back on every single one of those wands sold. So what cash back is 10% of the member price. So you also get $23 from every one that you sell. So if you add everything up, off of this example, if you had 4 customers, that's $194 in retail profit and cash back. That all goes directly back to you. So this is awesome because it has the retail profit and you still earn the cash back on the back end, all paid within the same week. And if you were to sell 4 of those in a week, that's $194 direct to you. Now, some of the benefits of earning earning retail sales is all the retail sales will automatically drop ship directly from the AmWell office. This means as a BA, as long as you're referring people to your website and traffic is getting directed to there, they're going through your shop, they're purchasing, it's basically out of sight, out of mind for you. There's nothing else you have to do. The product sale will come into the local office there, and we're the ones that'll ship it direct to the end user. So it also makes you active to earn commissions as well, as we mentioned earlier. As long as you have retail sales of at least 40 BV or more, that makes you active to earn commissions. You also, the third benefit is you earn 10% retail profit, and the fourth is all BV, which is every sale that happens. Those 4 black tip wands, they all have corresponding BV. All of that BV will go towards your team generation bonus in the first level, and we'll explain that in greater detail a little bit later. And as I just mentioned, that retail sales also paid 10% cash back, and all of these are paid weekly. So this is really good information. I'm not sure if anybody knew that it paid cash back and that it makes you active in all these things. So please take note. Now, the second issue I want to talk about today is the multi-tier or 2-tier Fast Start bonus. And you will earn a Fast Start bonus or FSB every time that you enroll a new BA, and also when they enroll new orders. The Fast Start bonus is 10% of the wholesale amount of the new enrollee's initial or enrollment purchase. If you're a direct sponsored BAs, sponsor another person, you'll earn another 5% Fast Start bonus off of their enrollment purchase. So if you look at the right view would be the person in blue, the person on top. The people in green would be your first generation, and your second generation are the people in yellow. So your first generation is anybody that you personally enroll is automatically your first generation. That's 10% off of the wholesale price. So if they buy $200, they'll get 10% of that direct as a Fast Start bonus. If they also enroll someone else at $200, then you will get 5% of that. So it's multi-tiered, but the reason and the concept behind this is obviously you want to have members in your organization that are personally enrolled to you so you can start building your team. Now, once you have a team, it's beneficial for you to help that person to also sign up new members, to also start developing their skills as a leader, because by you helping them to build their organization, you also directly benefit from it. So it's that whole team aspect. You're the leader, you bring your people in, and then you also help them to bring their people in, and then they do the same, and they do the same. So you're all working as one team synergistically, and all of you benefit. So again, first generation at Fast Start bonus is 10% of the wholesale amount, and the second generation is 5% of the wholesale amount. Now, some of the benefits of enrolling a new BA is this also makes you active to earn commissions. As I mentioned before, as long as you're enrolling people with 100 business volume or more, that'll make you active for the month. So you'll also earn 10% of the purchase price for your first generation and 5% on your second generation's enrollments. And all new enrollments give business volume to both the team binary bonus or TBB and the team generation bonus TGB. You'll notice that all the enrollment products that are there all have split business volume. So half of it goes to the binary and half of it goes to the generation earnings. Obviously, another benefit of enrolling new members is it makes your team larger, giving you greater earning potential. And the binary is still paid weekly. So this is going on to the binary now. And as I mentioned earlier, that all business volume on enrollment products are split 50-50. So the first half of it goes to the binary because it's paid weekly, and we'll explain that here. So binary is you'll enjoy a 10% commission on the week or pay leg in group business volume, which includes all enrollments from your business centers directly referred by you or the people under your positions. Now, when it says people under your positions, that means anybody below you. It can be, it can be 15 levels down. It can be someone that you don't even know. It's anybody on the right or left side. All of those members that are in your organization will calculate to help pay you commissions. So it's a minimum 100 BV on the week leg to pay commissions, which will give you a USD of $10. And when you raise in leadership and ranks, you'll also enjoy an additional percentage according to your leadership rank. But everybody as a base gets 10% on the week leg. And I want to explain that a little bit more in detail right here. So if you look at the graph, you would again be the person in blue, and all binary has is a left leg and a right leg. Okay, directly below you, there's only two spots basically. There's a left and a right, and this is corresponding to volume. So if you look at the graph, all of your referrals, all the people that you directly sponsor, are all these people here in green. Let's say anybody that is in yellow was sponsored by these people in green. So you don't even have to know these people in yellow. I mean, you only did is what you brought in these 4 people here in the green, and they started doing the same and replicating and signing up new members. So those people in yellow are all the direct enrollments for the green people, and all your green people are your direct enrollments. So you don't even have to know people. And this is only showing a few members. This goes infinity deep, which means that, like I said earlier, anybody that's below you, it can be thousands and thousands of levels deep if your tree is that big, which is great, and it'll still be used in calculating your earnings. So the way it works, we'll say that members for the Independent Universe, the members price is $252, which gives you $252, which gives you 176 BV, or business volume. Now remember, we split it for enrollments, and binary is only paid on enrollment orders. So half of that, or 88 BV, goes to your TBB, which is your team binary bonus. And the other half of 88 BV goes to your TGB, or your team generation bonus. So your binary will get 80 BV. So let's say, and it's just for simplicity, let's say everyone on this graph all purchased the Independent Universe. So all of these would have 88 BV on every spot. You'll see on the left, there's 3. 1, 2, 3. There's 2 directly enrolled by you, and one of your second generation. On your right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of them bought the same thing, so it's all 88 BV for simplicity. Now, all of that BV gets allocated and added to your left or right side. So if you add up 88 times 3, it's 264 volume on the left side. And then if you add up everything on the right, it's 444 volume on the right side. Now, what the binary does is it takes 10% off of the weak leg, or we call it the pay leg. So it'll see the 264 on the left. It's a smaller amount of the 2, so that's your pay leg. That's where your 10% is calculated from. So there's also what we call rollover. So but what it does is it subtracts the 264 volume off of the left side, and you'll get paid 10% on that. Anything left over will automatically roll over to the next period. Like, for example, if you subtract the 264 from the 440, there's going to be balance on the right side. That'll roll over to the next period. So, you still get cashed out on all of your commissions in a weekly period. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that the team binary bonus potentially pays infinity deep, so it doesn't matter how many people are below you. There's no level cutoff. As long as there's members below you that are enrolling people, all of that volume is allocated and used in calculating your commissions. Now, obviously, you benefit from your team's efforts since all enrollments on the left or right side are used in calculating these earnings for your commissions. And team binary bonus means that your organization is actively recruiting new members weekly. And as I mentioned earlier, that this commission is also paid weekly. So the weekly commissions that we just said is there's your retail profit is paid weekly, your fast start bonus is paid weekly, and the team binary bonus is also paid weekly. And what I want to talk about next is the team generation bonus, or TGB. This one's a little bit more involved, so we're going to spend some more time on this, and I'm going to give you some more information because it's really dynamic. There's a lot of pieces to it, but it's all there to benefit the members in the most drastic possible way. We're trying to give as much commissions as we can direct back to the members. So when the people you sponsor and the people they sponsor under your line of sponsorship enrolls, if they purchase product or retail customers, so basically enrollments, personal purchases, and all customer purchases are all allocated in team generation bonus, or TGB as we call it, based on the number of personally sponsored BAs who are active. So what this is saying is everybody who is in your line of sponsorship, if I were to sponsor someone and that person was to then sponsor somebody else, and it goes on down the line, depending on your qualifications, you will earn a team generation bonus based off of all unilevel purchases. And this has potential to go down 7 generations with dynamic compression. So here's a chart. You'll see that you're the person in blue, and it'll tell you your first generation on the right side, your first generation, second generation, third, fourth, and it goes all the way down to 7th. Now what you'll see on each line is, like, for example, first generation will pay out 10% of all commissions for anybody that you personally enroll. For anybody that you bring in, remember those people were green. For anybody that they bring in, that's your second generation. So when you sign someone up and that person in turn also signs someone up, that's considered your second generation. You'll earn 15% on all of your second generation unilevel commissions. If your second generation sponsors people, that becomes your third generation, and you'll earn 10% on all third generation purchases. If your third generation enrolls anybody, that's your fourth generation. It goes all the way on down to 7 generations. So it's 10% on the first, 15% on the second generation, another 10% on the third, 8% on the fourth generation, 6% on the fifth generation, 4% on the sixth generation, and 2% on the seventh. So there's a qualification you'll see at the bottom. BAs must be active with 40 BV and have a number of active personally sponsored BAs to go down for each level. So in order for you as a member to get paid first generation TGB at 10%, you have to personally sponsor 2 BAs minimum who are active. I'll say again, in order for you to receive first generation TGB, you have to personally sponsor at least 2 members who are active. Okay, so remember what I said before, you don't have to purchase anything, they don't have to purchase anything, they just need to be active. So if they have retail customers, or if they're signing new people up, that's great, they're also considered active for the month. If you want to go down to your second level, which is 15%, your second generation TGB, you have to personally sponsor 3 BAs who are active, and then you can possibly go down to 3 generations. If you want to go down to the third generation, you have to personally sponsor 4 members. So you'll see right here, for each level, there's a different qualification. Level 1 is 2 personally sponsored BAs who are active. That's level 1. Level 2 is 3 BAs personally sponsored who are active, and it goes on down the line. The next one is 4 BAs for third generation, 5 BAs for fourth generation, 6 BAs for fifth generation, 7 personally BAs who are active for sixth generation, and 8 personally sponsored BAs for 7 generations. I want to explain this a little bit more on the next slide. So let's say, for example, you want to get paid the maximum, which is 7 generations with dynamic compression. So that means everybody this is your first line right here. You're the person in blue. Everyone that you sponsor will be these gray shirts right here. So let's say you sponsor 8 of them. Okay. And let's say, for example, their monthly maintenance is 1 box of DNA switch on. That 1 box of DNA has 45 BV or 45 business volume. And since this is a personal purchase, this is after they've enrolled. Let's say this is next month or the third month or however long down the road. All the volume doesn't get split anymore. It's all on the unit level. So everything for retail sales, everything on customer sales, and everything on personal purchases all counts towards your TGB. So if these 8 people all get 1 box of DNA, that means they have 360 business volume. Okay. If you take that 360 business volume, since they're all your directs, you all personally sponsored these people. Since they are directs, you get 10%. That's your first generation TGB earnings. So it's $36 direct to you. Now the key in that is opening up the different levels, opening up the different generations. So let's say your second generation. Now I know not everybody's going to have a full team of 8 who sponsor 8, but let's say these people that you brought in get at least 2. So these 8 people that you brought in go out and they do 2 each. Okay? Anybody that they bring in would be your second generation. This means if your 8 get 2 each, that means you have a total of 16 members on your second generation. If everybody in this example all purchase the DNA, which is 45 business volume, that'd be 720 BV on your second generation. Your second generation earnings are 15%. That means that you get $108 if everybody follows this on just your second level alone. So on your second generation, you have 16 members at 720 business volume. 15% of that gives you $108 in commissions. Now let's keep following that example. Your first generation, you personally sponsored 8, so you want to get the maximum. You want to go all the way down 7 generations. That's 360 business volume if they all bought the DNA box, 1 each. 10% of your first generation, as I mentioned earlier, was 36. If your 8 get 2 each, then your second generation has 16 members, and their business volume on that is 720. Your second generation TGB percentage is 15%, which gives you $108. And if you keep following that, so if your second generation all got 2 each, if your third generation all got 2 each, so your third generation would be 32 people. That's 1,440 business volume. If everybody still continues to purchase the DNA switch on at 45 BV, your third generation is still 10%, which means that you'll get $144. Your fourth generation would have 64 members. The business volume would be 2,880. That's 8% on your fourth generation. That's $230.40. Your fifth generation would have 128 people, if following the same example as the second and third and fourth generation. That's 5,760 BV at 6% commission, so that gives you $345.60. If the sixth generation, if it's continue the same thing, everybody gets 2. Your sixth generation would have 256 people. The business volume on that would be 11,520, and the payout on that generation is 4%. So that would give you $460. And the seventh generation would have 512 members, 23,040 business volume at 2% would also give you $460. So if you add everything up, that's $1,784.16 in TGB paid every month, as long as these people are staying active. And we all know that everybody loves the DNA. It's one of the flagship products that we have. So what a better example to give? You're active. It's a monthly usage, which means it has 30 sachets. As long as you're staying active with it, you're keeping your team involved, all buying the same product, the potential earnings can be this much. Now keep in mind, there could be larger BV purchases. You can be selling wands, you can be selling pendants, you can be selling water machines. It all works the same. If it's a unit level volume, the percentages are all the same and you get paid out accordingly. So there's one other piece of the TGB which I wanted to touch on, and I think this is really special. Now, remember I mentioned earlier, let's say if you buy product, 40 of that personal volume goes towards your active status. But what if you have more than 40 BV? I'm going to use this as an example. Take the AmWater Actify. Okay, members price is $2,430. The BV is $1,701. Okay. Remember, anything that you purchase, you get cash back. So if it's a personal purchase, it's 10% cash back from the member's price. So right off the top from buying the water machine, you get $243 cash back. So not only are you getting it at a discounted price from retail price, you also get cash back at $243. Now remember, there's 1,701 business volume, but only 40 of it is required to make you active. So we subtract that 40 to make you active, you have 1,661 business volume remaining. Now here's the special part. Any, and I repeat, any business volume or personal volume that you buy yourself will automatically go towards your first generation TGB. And if you see above, you'll see 10% on your first generation. So that means that you'll also get 1,661 business volume to get paid towards your first generation TGB. So you'll get 10% of that. So you'll get $166.10 in first generation TGB earnings off of your water machine purchase. So to take it again, you buy a water machine. It's already at a discounted price from retail price. You also get cash back of $243, and you get an additional $166.10. That all goes back to you from buying a water machine, so you get a discount and you get money back. If you add everything up on buying the water machine, it's $409.10 back in your pocket. So all of your personal purchases will all have, anything over 40 business volume, it subtracts the 40 to make you active, and then the remainder will all go back to your first generation TGB. So this comp plan is specifically designed to give out maximum payouts to our members. Okay, we have different ways of doing it. You can sell at retail. You can sell. You can enroll new members and get fast start bonus. You have your binary, which is paid weekly. So all those are weekly earnings. You get paid that fast. Or the goal is to have you do business activities and then give it direct back to you in the shortest possible time. We also have our monthly commissions, which is team binary bonus, and the TGB, which is a team generation bonus. It's a monthly commission. So obviously there's different qualifications for TGB and TBB, but the whole idea here is to not only do we increase the volume on everything, so everything has more business value, we increase the payout. So we're increasing as much money as we can to give it back to the field, because we know that when we reward the members and we give them everything that we can, that it's more incentive for them to go out and enroll people and to buy personal purchases and to buy a product and retail it, and it works overall across the board a lot better for everybody else. So again, this presentation will be posted online, so you can use it as a training tool for your downlines. And we will go over more comp plan training. There's still a matching bonus that we want to go over, and the leadership ranks, which are a little bit more involved. But these 4 keys, there's a weekly commissions and a monthly commission in there. There's, again, retail profit, fast start bonus, which is a multi-tiered fast start bonus, team binary earnings, and TGB earnings. Those are the quickest way to get money in your pocket as fast as possible. So I want to thank everybody for that. We'll have questions at the end of this. What I want to do right now is I want to bring on our group CEO. There's some information that he wanted to share with y'all. And Mr. Arun, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, Adam. Very, very good morning to everyone. It's nice to connect. Yes, Adam, can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You're loud and clear.
Adam?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So good morning, or good evening, everyone on the call. Thanks for calling in to the webinar. It's once again my pleasure to connect in this webinar. I hope the topics that Adam Smith covered is beneficial to everyone there. This is based on the request of our field leaders back in North America. If you have any questions, kindly type in your questions so we can address the questions immediately at the end of the webinar. Thank you, Adam, for that clarity. Of course, thank you for the clarity, and it's all about sharing the importance, sharing the important key points. And what Adam covered is only the main key points: the retail benefit, the retail profit, the fast start bonus, the team binary bonus, and the um, team generation bonus. So he covered some of the main earnings of the compensation plan. Of course, we have others like mega matching bonus and leadership bonus and so on. But understanding the first four, I would say the major comp plan payout is the key. And I believe that everyone will agree with me that it's very well explained by Adam. And thank you, Adam, um, for that sharing. So the second part is we're going to go before we move into the uh, the question and answers. We're going to cover some of the major topics, some of the major concerns of leaders in the question and answer and so on. But right now, I want to share with you the new training tools that it's out. Right now we have the M1 PowerPoint. M1 is one of the greatest product as far as sharing our energetic wellness approach, technology, and also transferring the passion that you have with MWell and so on. We have actually created a new I would say PowerPoint on the M1, and also a new PDF that is very, very comprehensive in sharing with anyone new on our technology or approach and so on. So M1 is still one of the best selling products as far as the entry level or enrollment level is concerned, and I believe that it's good, it still be good to share this product to any new prospects so they can buy, enjoy the benefit of energy. This particular PowerPoint covers the details, the key approach in our energetic wellness technology, and also how to use the wand to gain the maximum benefits. How to use the wand to gain the maximum benefits. It talks about what is energy, it talks what is bioenergetic field. In this case, the bioenergetic field is an energetic matrix that forms the skin of your inner energy bodies and surrounds your outer physical bodies in all directions. The field interacts with everything in and around you, and it reacts to every thought, words, feeling, choice, and actions instantly. It is electromagnetic and interpenetrates into your physical body, and the coherence happens. So it explains a lot from the quantum point. What is this biofield, and also how complex it is being and exists in combination of up to 22 vibratory states and interconnected with over 14 strands of DNA, in which all are based on light energy. And how the biofield is connected with the meridians of energy, and has to go through, the energy flow has to go through all cells in the body. And then we'll talk about the energy centers in the biofield itself, okay, commonly known as chakras, and it flows determines the vibrancy of the health, and how physical disorders and diseases are created in the initial stage. It is said that every problem we have in the physical body actually begins with a blockage in this energetic field. In other words, all degenerative conditions, um, are caused by these blockages. The three main reasons: lack of energy, energy blockages, imbalances, and energetic uh, disturbance. And it talks about the importance of the healing ability in our body. The greatest power that we have is where we have the power to heal ourselves. Our genes are genetically programmed in all manner for self-healing automatically. And then it explains very clearly on the M1, as you all know that we have 3 different types of M1, so it just generally explains about the black tip one with the 14 types of granulated minerals, and how this M1 can be used in affecting the biofield to detect the universal source energy, and how our innate intelligence is able to use that as a bridge or an antenna to source more universal life force energy from the environment, as it mentions that at any point of time that we have energy deficit in our body, and so whenever it comes in contact with the AFD products, it's able to source the energy directly from the environment. And how the M1 is able to affect the resonance, the energetic increases the energetic resonance of all atoms and empowers the cells to achieve optimum performance in cellular cleansing, regeneration, revitalization, and how the M1 is able to activate, connect, and optimize all the major energy centers, creating a better flow of energy throughout the body, how the M1 is able to activate the major glands connected through the endocrine system, which optimizes the secretion of good vital hormones, and also aligns our mental, emotional, and physical state, bringing about the homeostasis. It goes into a much more detail, and of course, the PowerPoint is very well supported with the new M1 PDF that actually shows the step-by-step procedures for the wanding and for maximum results on the wanding, and how this wanding creates an implosive unilateral flow of energy vortex for best results, point, and what are the basic instructions of the wanding. It covers the stage 1 to stage 4, and of course in stage 1, 8-point energy center wanding. Some of you have watched the videos that we have in MyAmWellness that clearly explains the M1 use and the benefits of M1, and this is more for anyone new to get trained in how to do a proper self-healing and self-wanding to others, and also to help others in the wanding. So it clearly explains the different stages and different steps and how it happens. For example, the first step in M1 is when you tap lightly on the top of your head, that's on the crown, with the black tip wand or with the wand. It is called the provocation, and it activates all the energy centers and connects them. Step 2 is pointing and to the top of the head and rotating the M1 clockwise for several seconds or minutes, 9 times, 18 times, 27 times, or whatever it is. This, and what it does, it activates the crown chakra, and thereby it is able to expand or improve the pineal gland status. And of course, in turn, the pineal gland is the one that secretes the vital hormones that's required for creativity, thinking, decision making, and so on. Then it goes further on to step 3, step 4, on specifically what happens on the step 3, the third eye chakra, which basically activates and improves the pituitary gland. Step 4, that activates the throat. Throat energy center, or the throat chakra, that activates the thyroid gland. Step 5, that activates the heart energy center, or the heart chakra, and thereby expanding or improving the thymus gland. Step 6, it activates the solar plexus chakra, the adrenal glands. Step 7, the sacral chakra, the Gronets glands, and of course step 8, the sexual chakra, which is basically the root chakra, or the sexual glands. Step 9, on the vertebra, the ECG point, the connection. So that's on the first stage, and obviously it moves on to the second stage if you're dealing with, if you want to continue with better results and so on, how to unblock and release the energy by by turning and flicking on applying pressure onto every single fingers and every single toe points. That's in the stage 2, step 1 and step 2. In stage three, it goes further. If let's say you're treating someone, your loved ones, families, prospects, or anyone for that matter, and how you can actually use to continue to want in the area of discomfort, pain, or area that you are looking for improvement. And of course, it's also advised, yeah, as most of you know, that the use of therapeutic oil together in the wounding has always bring about the best results possible. Um, and it clearly shows the different points. These points are what we call the meridian points. So let's say you have discomfort in your throat, or you're having some not able to make a good decision, or you're not able to focus on some things and so on. All you have to do is point at that particular energy center and start wanting yourself. That's the stage three. It also clearly defines the warning requirements, some of the basic informations. I've seen in some YouTube videos and so on, and they claim, oh, it's not working. Of course, it's not working because they are not following the instructions properly. And 9 out of 10, most of the time, you'll get the best results, even from a skeptics, if they were to follow the proper warning requirements that we have aligned. So this time, we are able to put it in writing and in proper instructions so that the maximum results can be created. So it goes covering all the different warning requirements. It also goes to covers on the different usage the one has, where you can warn your food, your drinks, and so on, or even the environment, how you can use the wand to warn on personal care items like your toothpaste, your creams, and also environments. You can also warn on your plants. I love warning my plants, and also warn your animals. I have two fantastic dogs with me, a hyperactive beagle and a loving um, what's that? I mean, I call him Jimmy. I can't remember the breed name. Oh yeah, it's again, I'm not missing out. And they love the wanding happens to them. It goes into covering the different benefits of the wanding and how it can help to increase the energy, well-being, and so on, stimulates bodily function and strengthen, and also goes into small basic explanation of the different types of wand, the professional version, the black tip is the upgraded version, and the M1 Classic is the original version that we have. And then just goes into explaining about a little bit on the M1 and the different multi-tips that we have and the usage of that multi-tips. The difference between the black tip and the classic is only the type of minerals that's there. The black tip is an upgraded version of the classic one, so it has 14 minerals and crystals compared to the M1 Classic that has only 13 minerals and crystals. So for those who love to learn and improve themselves, and I believe that you enjoy the PowerPoints for your own learning, and I know that most of our leaders love to go out there and help more people, and by learning the instruction, which is very self-explanatory, you will able to achieve a better results. And the PowerPoint is also supported very well with a comprehensive PDF, as you can see on the slide here. Covers again the same details, but much more in detail, especially how the energetic blockages happens, and how the wand use is able to help in bringing about the change and improvements, and the different types of wand, and then how to use the wand. And it clearly explains with illustrative graphics on this step, on the 4 stages and the 8-point healing wanding. Stage 2, stage 3 covers on the 10 body energy fields, the 10 energy fields, and warning the animals and the total benefits. So now that if you're going to prospect to someone, it's easy for you to recommend the wand and also send them the PDFs or the PPS that's going to be uploaded very soon today into the site. Or you can learn this and go out there and help or heal more people using the wands and wanding systems and so on. So I believe that you will enjoy the tools that is lately been created and made available. I'm very excited about this, and more of such tools are coming out with the videos that's already there available in the site. One of the videos that I like is if you were to go to M1 in the MyAmWellness.com page. If you go to the M1 and if you go and select the product, it's the M1 product page itself, not the shop, product page itself. On your left-hand side of that page, you can see a lot of videos, and third or the fourth videos is self-bonding, and it's a very self-explanatory videos on how the bonding happens and how is the effect happens at that particular point of that bonding. If you have not watched that video, please go and look through those videos there. That's available. So that's what we have to share, and look out for more and more information that's coming up, more and more marketing tools that will be coming out, more and more contents will be coming out. What I hear from our dear leaders is that Omega or ML itself is we are very strong in our technology, very strong in our products, and what we lack is marketing contents, and the current focus is how to help you promote the business better with more and more a comprehensive marketing contents, and that's what we are producing and to helping out, and we are producing and sharing. So that's what we have for you right now. And Adam, let's open up the questions. If you have any questions, any questions that you have, please type in the questions so that we can address the questions. We like to touch on some of the concerns and questions that you have. A couple of days ago, in fact last week, I had a wonderful leadership call with some of the key leaders in North America. I appreciate the call. It's almost close to 1.5 hours. Great questions were asked, and you know, I was grateful enough to cover and touch on and answer almost all those questions. I love that session very much, and I'm looking forward. So from now onwards, especially in our corporate webinars and our training webinars, we are looking forward for more questions so that we can target and answer you on those questions. So I have one question down here that has already been brought forward is about the leadership ranking. How are we ranked in the promotional plan? Will it be placed at the level comparable to the time, effort, money, energy we have already invested, or we have already forced to rebuild our rank from the bottom up, having to requalify for every promotional level? I'm sure you know how rank affects commission percentage and general pay. Most importantly, I'm sure you'll know the devastating impact having to rebuild will have on a spiritual health of the relationship with AmWell, Omega, and so on. So they're asking how is the effect of promotion rank advancement happens. I think Adam, who has been working very much on the comp plan system setting and so on, will be able to address that question. Before he addresses the question, I like to point out that leadership is something that cannot be bought. It needs to be earned, and it needs to be achieved. And so based on that, of course, we have changed the leadership ranking systems to make it much more easier compared to the previous system. Like in previous systems, you need to have 10 downlines under your organization with 2 personally sponsored before you become a diamond. That's the first ranking. Here in ML, you just have to have 4 downlines under you, out of which 2 have to be directly sponsored. So we make the leadership ranking easier compared to the previous one, that's for sure. And of course, we have changed the name to suit the current business styles and systems that we have. The ranking starts from first 1-star executive, 2-star executive, 3-star executive, And why? Because in most online marketing opportunities and systems, especially in what our business is right now, we are not into network marketing, but we're into social marketing. The ranking should reflect onto our model of business. So we have changed our ranking system. We have made it much easier and simpler compared to the previous ranking system. Um, and the qualifications or the way it is being qualified or requalified stays the same month after month. That means to say at every month it checks on your ranking qualification to see whether a promotion or advancement can happen, and that doesn't change. So I believe that some leaders are mixed up on the ranking compared to their team building and so on. For example, if 2 years ago you happen to be a blue diamond or a black diamond, with you had that rank advancement. When we run it, for example, last month, and you only have 2 active BAs, or you only have 4 BAs under you and 2 personally sponsored, then obviously we have to go with the new ranking and call you as a first executive star. So what I'm trying to say is that if you were to go to a second 2-star executive or the 3-star executive, you will remain as 2-star executive or 3-star executive. We will continue to call you with the new ranking. However, the payout is depending on whether you qualified for that particular ranking or not. Because the new ranking systems, we made it in a way to benefit our leaders who are not just having sales, but leaders who are actively building the team and helping the team and working on the team to give them additional monthly cash incentives if they were to qualify with a certain amount of earnings. So, Adam, do you have anything to touch on this leadership, Adam?
Yeah, yes, I do. Thank you, Mr. Arun. I also agree that it needs to change. If you look at the previous qualifications for blue diamond and black diamond and so on, they're a lot harder to get. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, having 10 direct, and then even having to have X amount on the right, X amount on the left, and it's really complicated. I think the new one is much more simplified, but the best part about it is it has the monthly cash incentives. So it's not something that happens quarterly, or it's not an incentive or reward that's given out, annually. As long as you're qualifying at a particular rank, you can get that cash incentive monthly. So to me, that means it's a lot more powerful because it's a continuous thing. If I'm continuing to hit my targets, I get the additional percentages in the binary, and I get a monthly cash incentive, which, I mean, potentially if I do it for the rest of my life, I'll have that cash incentive for the rest of my life. So to me, that sounds much more appealing, on top of the fact that it's a lot easier. To be a 1-star executive, like you just mentioned, you only need to have 4 active BAs, 2 of which are personally sponsored, and there's a BV target in there. I think probably one of the next training ones I'll do is go in depth on the whole leadership ranks and incentives, to kind of highlight each one and how to achieve them, and what the incentives are for each level. I do understand that some of them feel like they might want that rank of what they were previously, but now the ranks are completely different. They have completely different qualifications, which are much easier. There's fewer ranks, but the incentive to get these each ones, I mean, they're to me, they're a lot more appealing. I'd rather get more money every single month than a quarterly incentive or a yearly incentive. So to me, it's much more appealing.
Thanks, Adam. And I'd like to add on to that is the ranking qualification here is we have to strictly check on the qualification because there is an additional income streams when a person qualifies. So it's not just a recognition, but there's a lot of additional payout that happens, especially on the team binary level. When average BAs earns 10% on the weekly, when you are first 1-star executive, you earn 10 plus 1%. That's 11% on the weekly. When you're a 2-star executive, you earn 10 plus 2. That's 12% additional on the binary. So there's a huge change in the binary payout based on leadership ranking, that besides the monthly qualification. So these are the additionals, and also the maximum payout increases as the ranking goes up. If you're a 2-star and 3-star, your monthly payout, your weekly payout cap increases. So that's why we have to follow. But one thing for sure is that it's much easier. So I don't think there is any losses that has happened to you and so on. Obviously, sometimes you lose a team and you have to build a team and so on. That's something that cannot be compensated by doing what we call grandfathering someone into the leadership rank. I have several other questions I'd like to address before we close this webinar, and hopefully next time we can have more interactions directly uh, um, with the leaders. So if you have questions, please type in so that we can turn you on. I mean, we can turn on the mic for you to address directly. Meantime, let me start with some of these questions. When do I take ML products when you're using all of them, especially when you're using all of them? Say, for example, the brine, the white cola, the DNA, the fibergo. It's one of the good, I mean, Frank, it's a very good questions. And I always endorse them because I use all 4 of them daily on a daily basis. So I travel with them and I use them regularly. So if you're taking all 4 products, how to take it on a daily basis. Natural brine is something that you take it directly 6 to 10 drops into a glass of water when you wake up, or at least 1 hour before you take your food. Before you break your fast, that's breakfast. Okay, so before you break your fast, have 6 to 10 drops in a glass of water, or take the drops directly under your tongue at least 1 hour before your food, or half an hour before your food. Before anything that goes into the mouth. So brine is something that you take in the morning. It's also recommended, not necessary, but it's also recommended to take brine at the end of the night, just before you retire and sleep. You can have brine, 6 to 10 drops. That's one. White cola, if you're taking white cola together, I mean all 4 products, white cola can be taken any point of time, preferably together with your meal or just before your meal. That's fine. Best to take during lunchtime. That's some of our nutritionists advice, is to take during lunchtime or to take during dinner. White cola. So I would say lunch or dinner is the best. 1 big tablespoon of that, because it's rich with protein, and you have to be active in order for the protein to, since it's highly concentrated protein, it gets absorbed directly into your body. It goes into your whole system in helping the production. DNA, switch on DNA. A pack of a box comes with 30 sachets, so it's a monthly supply, 30 sachets. We make it the sachets so that it's easy for active people to take and walk around with that, travel and whatnot and so on. So DNA, you mix it and drink it together with your breakfast. I repeat again, mix it and drink it together with your breakfast or just before your breakfast. And since DNA is nothing but fruits and vegetables powder, again, no digestion is required, so it directly gets absorbed into your system much easily. Mix with half a glass of water, so don't use too much of water, half glass of water, and drink it immediately within the first 5-10 minutes. Drink it immediately because of the science. The active ingredients get activated when it come in contact with the water. So DNA switch on. Do not stinge. 1 whole sachet, 6 grams. Mix it up with half glass of water and drink it immediately. Best time to take is breakfast. Of course, DNA, there's you can take even 1 for breakfast and 1 for lunch or even dinner. So it's up to you if you want to have more of that. These are not medicines or supplements, so it's okay to take it with every single meal. Fibergo. Fibergo has lately been creating a big craze in Europe, a big craze in Middle East, and a huge demand happening in Africa. Um, and of course, overwhelming response is happening in North America and so on. So FiberGo is something that you must take in the night. Just make sure that's the last meal that you take or the last food you take before you retire for the day. And FiberGo, you mix it with 160 ml, a tall, full glass of water. And again, FiberGo, once you mix, drink it immediately. Don't keep it. Don't even try to keep it for 5 minutes. If you really look at it, you will start to harden because of the fiber content and the properties of the fiber content. You start to absorb the water and start hardening. You want that to happen at your digestive tracts, not on the glass. So FiberGo is something that you mix and drink immediately in a large glass of water. That's about 160 ml. At the night, when I say at the night, is after your dinner and so on, just before you retire for the day. So you can have it before the brine or together with the brine, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's how you take, if you're taking the 4 products. We will not have an additional product if the product's benefits are already there in an existing product. So the 4 different products have 4 different benefits besides the universal benefits of the energy and so on. Another question is, what setting do we drink water when we're taking medications? That's for the MWater system. Awesome question, fantastic question. And fortunately, when they asked me this question last week, just 1-2 days before that leadership call, I actually witnessed the MWater demo done by some leaders and experts, and I kind of learned more when I sit in that demo. The setting when you're taking medication is purified water. Do not take medication with alkaline water or acidic water. Take your setting. If you look at the MWater system, it has alkaline, acidic, purified. All right, so click on purified water when you are taking medication or any prescriptions. All right, so if you need to pop some pills and you need water, then take the purified water. When you're taking a supplements, for example, if you're going to put some drops of brine or DNA mixing of FiberGo, use alkaline water. Of course, alkaline water with alkaline form, that is pH 9. If you're going to mix it with FiberGo or DNA and so on. But if you're taking medication, it's purified water. Next question is, if you're wearing the bracelet or pendant and have a cell phone in your pocket or in your belt, will it still block out the radiation from the body? If you're wearing the bracelet or the pendant, all right, well, the cell phone radiation will be blocked from the body. See, if you look at ML products, you can see a distinctive difference between AFT products and bioenergetic products. Almost all our products are AFT, energized by AFT, ionized fusion technology, and ionized fusion technology is simply helping the products to resonate at 0-point resonance. All right. So in this case, to address these questions, which is more effective? That's how the question has been rephrased. Is it the bracelet or the pendant? I would say it's the bracelet, because the bracelet is bioenergetic. Bracelet has the magnet, not a normal magnet, but 3000 Gauss magnet, and a 5 infrared capsules. So the ion technology bracelets have a better effect in blocking the e-smoke radiation from the cell phone than the AFT. Because AFT works at a higher or different dimensions. Though it has an effect, it's not the same, because bioenergetic is not AFT. So it has a better effect on cell phone radiations and so on. And that's why we still continue to have the bracelets. And that's why bracelets are still one of the best sellers in the ML system. Whereas a pendant works at a different dimension. It syncs with your bioenergetic field. It strengthens your field, and of course it also blocks from negative contamination, radiations and so on, but it works at a different dimension. So I hope I answered your question there. The fourth question is there any age limit to taking FiberGo, Wycola and Switch On? Yes, especially children's you don't, they have not, they have a very good healthy system, most of them, so they don't need the fiber go unless otherwise they're obese or overweight, and for sure they have poor digestion problem or constipation problem and so on. Then it's okay to recommend the fiber go because it's natural fiber. um, Especially children that's big size, okay, but try to avoid for any instance and so on. White cola again is not recommended for kids, not recommended for kids at all, because white cola is concentrated protein. What we understand is that the human body is able to produce um, uh, uh, is able to produce the protein required for joints and so on. And after the age of 40, our collagen production, sorry, not protein, using the protein, the collagen production start to drop at a rate of 10% a year. That's why when you hit the 50s and 60s especially, you can start having joint pains and so on because of the lack of production of collagen in our body. And you complement that with you you complement that with uh, with the collagen here. So it's not recommended for children and so on. Prefer anyone above the age of 40 should start taking the white cola, the collagen. Switch on, it's open to all. You can easily have that because that helps in the antioxidant level and also the digestive enzymes. So there's no age limit. Children can have that, but avoid on the fiber go and white cola unless otherwise is necessary. Okay, there's more questions to come. Are we getting? Are we going to have more bundle packs for authorship? In fact, it's not a question. It's feedback and recommendation already in process last week itself, and I know that by this week that will be up and ready. Am I right, Adam? On additional or new bundle packs?
Yes, absolutely. We added some last week, and we'll be continuing to do so this week as well.
Good. Especially we're coming up with bundle packs, a combination of 2 products, 3 products, and 4 products. So it's not just a multiple packs of the same, but it's also combination packs and giving a much better and bigger discount also. Because we are what we're looking for and what we want to honor is the raving fans that we have and the partnership that we have. So yes, the bundle packs is coming out. It's already been approved, and currently the marketing department is putting together the whole thing. Now, will AmWell recognize the present leaders to be the star, to be 1 star if they have helped someone reach 1 star position, and or if their accumulated orders from their generation reach the requirement volume even through authorship? As I mentioned earlier, the leadership ranking has to strictly follow because it's not just about the recognition, but it's also about the additional benefits that we have, and we have to be very fair across the board to all leaders. So in fact, you should be happy that you have your downline under you that's able to be going up in ranks. That shows that the system is not hierarchy based. The system is based on who works hard and who builds the business bigger and better. And of course, if you have a downline or someone below your organization who's able to raise up in ranks, that automatically is going to create volume and additional income for you. And now that you should take it and you should look at it in a different perspective, in that if your downline can do it, you can do it, and you have to just know how he does that and do the same to create that leadership. Right? Leadership is something that we want to address and honor those who really qualify, because we have noticed in the past when we just grandfather a leader or even recognize a leader because he achieved that in one superficial month and something like that. And later when the new business associates or other active network leaders are looking up for leaders, and they are not able to get the best advice because this person is not really qualified to lead them or even show them how it's done and so on. So no, you will not be pushed forward just because you have your downline who have risen in rank. But of course, you'll be compensated with the additional income that's coming from his field. So these are the questions we have. All right, there's one last question. How to explain the difference in the wands, such as crystal wands made in large crystals, nano wands, and scalar wands, and whatnot, and so on. The wands date back over 4,000 years, especially started in the Egyptian culture. The wands started in Egyptian culture almost 4,000 years ago, and in the early days, they take special crystals, natural crystals, and they shape it up into a wand to create the energy vortex, so the basic principle doesn't change. So crystal wands do exist, but what kind of crystal? Is it natural crystal? Is it crystals that's been unblocked of any contamination and so on? That's one. Then they have the large crystals, the nano ones. Nano ones is something that is actually produced by us and introduced by us almost 8 years ago, 9 years ago. We're the first one to actually introduce the nano ones. That is based on nanotechnology, where we are able to break down the molecular structure to make it smaller and create a better crystal resonance and so on. From the nano one is how we created the advanced M1 that we call right now the M1. So the difference, if to answer your question, crystals or anything, even a stone that you find in their pathway, a natural stone, anything that's nature has a resonance, and that resonance has a coherence effect onto the body. I repeat again, anything of nature has a resonance, and that resonance has a coherence effect onto the body. So it could be benefiting you at that point of time. It may not be benefiting you at that point of time. So even for crystals and so on, certain crystals are not good and certain crystals are good at that point of time and so on. So we're not into that. The nano ones is based on nanotechnology. It's frequency based. I will say again, it's a frequency embedding is what nano wants, and that's what we introduced 10 years ago, 11 years ago. The M1, of course, it's not frequency based. We use the natural ingredients there, especially 14 different minerals and crystals, and most of it are monatomic substance. Monatomic is single atom substance, so that it can be broken down easier to get the energy resonance, the 0-point energy resonance, and amplify, so it's able to radiate, it's able to vibrate, it's able to resonate at the 0-point field resonance. Scalar ones is nothing but, if I'm not wrong, it's nothing but a marketing term for another, wand or distinctive word that they have used. AmWell and Omega is still the forerunner in wand technology, wanding technology, healing technology, and energetic wellness, and we will stay in that league in competition all the way, especially with our results and so on. So that's the last question we have, and we're already like 10 minutes more, overshoot in our timing. We hope you love the the webinar trainings and sharing, so we hope we have more time with you. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining into the call, and please send your feedback and questions and so on, so that we can be more interactive in our next conversation training. Otherwise, I'd like to say good evening to everyone, and have a fantastic day ahead. I'll pass it on to Adam.
Thank you, Mr. Arun. And again, everybody, thank you very much. We will have this webinar hosted online for you to share with your team, and for also you to revisit if you feel you need to kind of retouch on how to wand yourself, or self-wanding techniques and areas, or if you want to go over the comp plan again, which is the first part of the training webinar. As Mr. Arun mentioned, definitely we have an open ear. If you have feedback, if you have questions or suggestions, by all means, ask us. We're here to help you all to develop yourselves and develop your knowledge in the product, your knowledge in the comp plan, and your knowledge in techniques. And like you mentioned earlier, Mr. Arun mentioned, we're also doing a big push for marketing materials. So you have the self-wanding PDF, you have the explanation of the wands and the pendants and how their energy works and how to best utilize them. So, we're doing what we can to help you guys and to help your team. And we're also doing what we can to listen to the not only just the leaders but the field in general. We feel like working hand to hand with everyone is the best way to move forward. So um, hopefully everybody took the information that we shared with you today, and hopefully you disseminate that with your team. I think the next webinar, I would probably like to go over the leadership incentives, since that was a big topic that one of the leaders brought in, was about the leadership incentives. So maybe we'll touch on that next. But again, everybody, hope you have a beautiful rest of the evening. We thank you very much from Singapore and the U.S. Thank you, Sunita, for getting everyone here and for joining us yourself as well. So if you have any questions, again, feel free to ask us. But other than that, thank you very much and have yourself a good evening. Bye-bye.